hello, I didn't see you there. I'm Jim Sterling, and I'm going to kick off the show with a little bit of self-promotion, because I don't do it very often. Welcome to the show. We do this every Monday. This is the Jimquisition, the first episode of 2015. It's an alright episode. And if you love it and want to see more of me, I do other shit on this channel, youtube.com/Jim Sterling. So you can look at all the stuff there. Or you can go to thejimquisition.com to look at reviews, what I do. I do video game reviews, they're good, and some other editorial stuff. And I also do a podcast called The Podquisition. You can search for it on iTunes, look for Jimquisition, or go to soundcloud.com/Jimquisition. I host that with Gavin Dunn, aka Miracle of Sound, and Laura Kate, aka A Woman with a Mouth So Foul Even I Go Steady On. So that's all good, and all of that is kept alive and going by a Patreon what I've got set up, patreon.com/Jimquisition. And you can look at that and maybe kick some bucks that way if you want, or not. It's okay. Your choice, you're America. But 2015 is my year, so enjoy. It's 2015! Hooray! We celebrate the arbitrarily designated passing of the year as if it has actually changed anything and that suddenly everybody stopped being horrible dickheads to each other and nobody gets sad ever. But more importantly, it means very little is actually happening at the moment as we step out from the holiday season into our brave new world. You know what that means? It's time for another bloody list of video games to tide us over content-wise. And with that in mind, we're now going to talk about the games in 2015 that I'm looking forward to, and now you can look forward to them, because I'm always right. Let's start with an obvious one to get it out of the way, Bloodborne. It's another bleak and intimidating action RPG by From Software, this time with a gorgeously grim Victorian period aesthetic. It features similar risk and reward gameplay to Dark Souls, but combat is faster paced and more about pressing the attack than the more defensive, methodical approach found in the Souls series. The whole thing looks bloody gorgeous, From's typical, ornate but in a perfectly dismal way character design marrying well to the historical environment, with battles indeed looking faster and more frantic, with a ton of weapons to choose from, including a set of guns that seem to be quite believably included in one's arsenal. I'm very bloody into it, and if you want to feel like a Van Helsing type in a world that will likely kick the shit out of you and make you love it, Bloodborne seems set to make all your masochistic dreams come true. Grim Fandango is one of my greatest regrets. Being a particularly poor child, and with my granddad being the only one in the family who had a computer worth a shit back then, I never got to play this classic LucasArts game back in the day. It has forever been consigned to my I must play that one day list, which I'd have done by now if it had appeared on fucking GOG.com before now. At any rate, the closest I got to Grim Fandango was staring lovingly at screenshots of it in gaming magazines back in them days, which is why I'm incredibly excited about Grim Fandango Remastered, slated for PS4 and PS Vita. I am intentionally keeping myself as in the dark about this as possible so I can finally experience this bloody thing as fresh as I can for the first time ever. I know, of course, that it's considered very special, and the character design is something I've loved for, well, years now. I'll be playing this one for young me though, just like I spend my adulthood buying old fucking toys that I used to want because I'm a weird, pathetic old freak like that. Fun times. As a D&D player with a sometimes sadistic DM, Darkest Dungeons looks like my perfect RPG, a role-playing game with an utterly beautiful art style. What separates this kickstarted PC and PS4 game from the pack is its focus on psychological consequences. As one's party delves deeper and deeper into monster-infested tunnels, they struggle to clutch onto their sanity. It's a rather macabre analysis on exactly what kind of mental health toll adventuring might actually have on human beings, because let's face it, carving through skeletons, zombies, and aberrant monstrosities in the dark is probably gonna fuck anybody up no matter how tough they are. The affliction system bestows all sorts of morale-affecting challenges on the party as characters become paranoid, irrational, and potentially dangerous to allies. Stress, disease, hunger, they all conspire to bring the heroes down, and when you toss in permadeath, procedural generation, and all that other addictive shit, you've got a game that threatens to rob me of my life the same way Spelunky and Binding of Isaac have. This may be the one I'm most excited for in 2015, speaking as a guy whose first D&D character lost a hand and a foot and refused a resurrection spell because he was just fucking done. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is Kirby. That's enough said, because it's bloody Kirby. But if I had to say more, I'd explain that this is a Wii U follow-up to the beloved but not widely appreciated DS title Kirby Canvas Curse. Using the gamepad's touchscreen, you draw a little rainbow platform in any direction as a spherical Kirby rolls along the paths you create. Kirby games always charm the pants off me, and Rainbow Curse is set to continue that trend, being all bright and colourful, and you can do loop-de-loops and you're pink and adorable, and yes please. I am expecting a laid-back experience that focuses on just having a really nice time, and amidst all the violence and darkness I'll surely be enjoying in 2015, I can always use more brightly coloured niceness to break it all up. I was a bit iffy on The Witcher 2. I thought it was alright, but I found its design questionable in places. Obviously this means people popularly think I hate everything about it and want to see The Witcher as a series burned into oblivion. That's not actually true. There's a lot about Witcher 2 I enjoyed when I played it, and I liked the first game greatly, so Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, as fantastically promising as it is easily on my list of most anticipated 2015 releases. The Witcher's world is charming as it is shameless and gritty, and Wild Hunt looks gorgeous, engrossing and suitably deep and action-packed. CD Projekt Red is one of the few game companies I tend to put squarely in the one of the good guys camp, as they care deeply about treating their customers with respect, and their approach to DRM, DLC and game content are basically everything the Jimquisition has argued in favour of. Even if it's not as brilliant as I hope, it'll likely still absorb hours upon hours of my time just like the previous ones, and I won't find myself too upset about that at all. This is going to be the hitting shit with a sword in a big map experience du jour in 2015, and I am most certainly along for the ride. By the way, YouTubers, you've probably already typed your angry comments in the replies, but I'm not going to start every episode by talking about my Patreon and the other stuff. I barely do it, so I'm doing a bit of self-promotion before you complain about how there's ads at the beginning of every episode now. No, there aren't going to be, because I'm Jim fucking Sterling's son, and that's my promise to you. And 2015, indeed, will be the year of the Sterling. So prepare yourselves, one and all, to thank God for me for the next 365 days, unless it's a leap year I've not checked.